Hey, what's up, everyone? My name's Lionel, and I'm your host for LT Productions, and you are watching I Watch You Watch. We are covering Single Taken Other. It is a hot and hit web series. It's a black web series that has been created by two courageous black women who are filmmakers, and one is an actress. On YouTube right now, I want you to please go over there, and which is Capsheet Productions, which is in my description. Subscribe and support. I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Please like and also subscribe to my channel, and you can leave your comments below. All right, so this is season 1, episode 4, entitled "If Your Girl Only Knew." Oh, if only your girl only knew how much he's not into you. Lord, the men are letting me down this episode, except, well, let's just say 2 of them are letting me down. The others, y'all pretty good. So let's get into this. All right, so the crew is out, and it's still awkward, and the tension is there because Brittany has spotted Reese with this woman, that Harpo. Oh, this woman, Harpo. Of course, he did say that this was just a co-worker, blah, 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 blah. At this moment, Kara is also trying to introduce Gary. In order to break the tension and awkwardness, Taryn ends up saying, "Hey, I'm Taryn, blah, 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 blah. You want to play pool?" And he said, "Sure." Monica ends up taking Joy to the side just to talk and have conversation, and Brittany runs out. Royce runs after her, and basically she's upset, like, "Who is this girl, da 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 da." And he said, "She's nobody, she's just a co-worker. You take nobody's on a date?" I said, "No." He said, "No. She's just worked on the project with him, and he wanted to thank her for the help that she's done to get him in good with his boss, which is her father." But basically they kiss and all this good stuff, and just says, "I only want you, blah, 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 blah." I was liking you, Royce, but by the end of this episode, I don't know, because you're playing too many games. It's like there's some things that you can have points about, but at the same time, no, you kind of full of it. But let's get into this episode a little bit more. So, all right, so after Royce and Brittany do what they do, at least putting a temporary band-aid on probably what's going to be a bigger issue, Taryn is talking with Gary, along with Kara being there. They're playing pool. I can't talk today. So Taryn brings up the whole debate of the gentrification between Gary and Kara. Gary says, "Yeah, I did have my views," and Kara did educate him very eloquently on the dangers of it. He was looking at it from a different view, but now he sees it a lot more serious as to why it shouldn't really be allowed. But then he goes on to say, my only thing was just to help out the community, and he does offer up that he volunteers at an after-school program. It's the same school I guess Kara did grow up in. And basically, he wants to educate and uplift the community with the youth, and for them not to be a product of the community. Now, during this time, Taryn and Kara are doing their own little body language, and ooh. They were impressed and were like, "Oh, okay, so this dude is about something and not just some random dude that's just talking gibberish." So, next, we meet up with Nick. Nick is might as well say it's on a date with his ex, the girl from the other day. So they go down memory lane, and it looks like this girl is really into Nick. Like, she knows his moods. Like, it's quite interesting. You can tell that they are old boyfriend and girlfriend, or at least messing around or something, So after their little talk, somebody has to go. They basically have to leave. But he starts looking at the ex in a certain way, where you can see that there is some type of chemistry, sexual tension, or whatever's going on. And she's like, "Well, why are you looking at me like that?" And he was like what? Like Monica. He said, "What?" They were talking about Love and Basketball, which is quite a movie. And now that we're grown, that movie wasn't all that. If you really know the themes and what was going on, like But she was referring to how Q was looking at Monica back in the day. If you know, that's Sanaa Lathan, and what's his name? Is it Omar? The black lead. I forgot his name now. But anyways, let's see. So, the ex ended up saying, "Are you dating anyone?" And then she said, "Well, let me say this. If someone knew that we were dating, would they be upset about it?" Nick says no. Nick. Nick, you know, the first priority or the A priority, you know, that one that you said that you had a priority for, she would be upset. But he says, nah, sir, whatever. At the office, the crew is waiting around for Joan to get into the office because today is the day that Joan announces who is going to be over the article. Of course, they submitted their own little sample articles and all that for Spike Love. So Joan walks in and she passes right by them and didn't acknowledge. She ends up coming back and saying, well, "What are you guys doing? Aren't you supposed to be working right now?" And she says, if you were working, you would have known that I've already sent through email who is going to be working on the article. So the crew goes and rushes to their desk to see if they received the email, and it is Monica. She receives it, and also Paul will be her assistant. Taryn says, you know, I should be happy for her, but I'm upset because I've worked really hard on it. It's not so much, she doesn't think Monica's deserving of it, it's just that she wanted it. Oh, let's see. So later on that day, we find out that Nick was suspended from his team. He's making a sandwich. Monica comes in and she's ready to tell Nick about her good news about getting the article. And he's quite dry and non-responsive with her. And she asks, you know, what's up? He's like, nothing. And then Monica basically blows up. She's like, well, what's going on? You said nothing was going on. I'm giving you some very good news about me. And you have a problem. What's going on? And then he blows up and tries to project and saying, you know, I got kicked off the team. I got stuff going on, blah, 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 blah. But it's about you. You want to be selfish. And Monica says, selfish? What are you talking about? I asked you what was going on and you said nothing. But typical Nick, you don't open up. And right now he just basically says he's going home. Oh, so Nick does have a home. I guess since he's making a sandwich there, he doesn't have any food. And he has no job. But he's like, I got to figure out what's happening next. I mean, I'm sure Monica would be there to support you. It's obviously, Monica, you got to know that Nick is not for you. And Nick also knows that he's not for you. It's not it. He's able to open up with this ex or whatever college person, but it's quite private when it comes to you. But he sleeps in your bed. He eats your bread. He eats your meat, your mayonnaise, and I think some mustard. He does all that. So basically, he says he's over the BS. They have a fight, blah, 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 blah. All right, so Taryn and Josh, they have their first official date. They are having a picnic, and it's something that Taryn did mention to Josh. He's listening. Of course, she wanted like the more elegant, but she's fine with what is going on, what he has prepared for them for this date. So we find out that Taryn did play basketball. She was taught by her older brothers. They really ain't got anything going on with themselves right now. Josh says that his mother taught him how to play. And Taryn says, how is she? And I have been praying for her and not just word service. Josh says, thank you. She's doing better. She's out of the hospital and his dad is taking care of her. Josh also mentions that he has a younger brother. He's in the military at this point. And as I mentioned before about Taryn's brothers, I think she called them Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Like, she wished that they were more proactive with their lives. Josh asked a very good question. What are your future goals for this year? And Taryn was like, you go first. So Josh did go first, and he says, he has a passion for the youth. And that's where his focus is at, and also working on himself. And Taryn was like, wow. Then she was like, I have some small work goals, but I haven't really thought of anything else to work towards for this year. And Josh said, that's understandable, blah, 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 blah. Taryn says, I like this picnic date. I don't want it to end. Would you like to go for drinks? He says, I don't drink. And Taryn's like, you don't drink? No, I don't drink. He says it's just a personal commitment that he's made to himself, that he's not going to be drinking. And Taryn was like, well, I just have a drink here and there, take the edge off like that. And Josh says, I'm not here to judge. It's perfectly cool with me, blah, 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 blah. And Taryn cannot believe that this guy is this nice and not judgy at all. Next, Brittany. Brittany is meeting with Keith. Keith is someone that Joan did delegate for him to be, I don't want to say a collaborator on this whole design situation for the magazine for Spike Love. Brittany comes in, she has a poster board of all examples. Keith has nothing, but he was able to show some type of designs on his phone that he was thinking of. Brittany in turn showed the poster board, but it looks like there's stuff that is dated, and he really just chopped her down. But basically he wants her to do what he wants. And Brittany's like, no, we're not going to do that. Call me when you're ready to really collab. Because you're just not going to ish on my stuff and act like your stuff is just, what? No. So she leaves. So Royce, he goes on a date with Joy. Now, in the meantime, he had been texting Brittany, and Brittany was ready to see him, and he says that he'll be over a little bit later, A part of the date, Joy's asking, are you involved? Because they talked about how the women were treating her. He says that, that he's part of this group, and they're the real ones. He does have guy friends, because Joy did ask that. But he goes to them for the realness. I guess going to give him the truth or whatever. Joy asks, are you involved with any of them? And he says no. Royce. He says, he's focused on his career. He is dating, but he hasn't found the one. So Joy was like, it's all understandable. She gets up to go to the bathroom or restroom, and then that's when Brittany is texting, where are you at? He says that he'll be over shortly. So this is the end of the date for Josh and Taryn. He pulls up at her home, and she thought she was going to get a kiss from Josh in the car. But then he says, oh, let me open the door for you. Then she's like, I guess I'm going to get a kiss at the house, or in front of the steps of my house. So they get up there, and Josh goes in for a hug. As Josh is leaving, Taryn calls him back, and then she kisses him, and he backs away. And Josh said, I want to let you know that I'm celibate. And she's like, huh? Celibate? Yeah, I am celibate. This isn't really a first date question or something of information to offer up, but I am. It's a personal vow that I have with God in regards to this, and that's just that. It's okay if you're not cool with that. Taryn ended up saying, I think I should be doing that also. But she said that she's cool with it. She's cool with it. And because he was like, I hope this isn't a deal breaker, and Taryn says no. So now that we've come to the end, the guys, Nick, you are trash. Let Monica go. Let Monica go. Royce, you're about to lose probably a good thing. I don't know what the relationship between you and Brittany is. It seems very sexual. I think that there are some feelings there. I don't think that you guys have made anything solid. You just know that you guys are going to meet up to smash. And I think because of the long commitment that you've had in this type of involvement, I think that you need to say something to Brittany because this is so bad because you're lying to Brittany and to Joy. It may be one thing if you got just kind of caught up in a moment, but you done kissed her, 2 episodes ago, Joy, and now you're lying. Maybe you have a leg to stand on because there hasn't been any type of definition to what's going on between you and Brittany. However, Joy asked you, are you involved with anyone within the group? And you said no. That's not cool. That's not cool at all. Taryn, I think that you are in this situation of having your prayers answered and you don't know what to do with it. Because it's like, what you've wanted out of a man, you're getting it. Someone that respects you and respects himself, honors his temple, his body, that loves God, for real, and has his own standards and boundaries. And I don't think you know how to take that. It's kind of interesting with women. I don't get it because it's like you want more out of a man, but you know that you're probably not going to get it. So you just kind of go with the flow. You're used to these jerks just being a jerk. So I know that women, you still want to have sex. You're horny, just like the next person, You want a man to hold you. You want a man to make things solid. And it looks like you're wanting this how I want to say it, security. He's offering it. He's not committing to you. However, he's forming a relationship with you. And I think that that's what you have to really work on. Work on building a relationship so you can get that security, so that you will fall in love and whatever else happens in the relationship. So it's getting interesting, but I'm really disappointed in how Royce is functioning in this whole thing because, however, you may not be totally wrong in this whole situation. You are wrong for lying and doing all this other stuff, and you and Brittany need to have a talk. Well, that's all I do have. Hopefully you enjoyed this review. Hopefully you're enjoying the show. Again, go over to Cap Sheet Productions, which the link is in my description below of this video, and support. But please like this video and also subscribe to my channel and leave your comments below. Until the next one, peace.